Hello everyone, Drew Wilson of Your Era Gamer here, and today I got another Minecraft update. And in the last update I was showcasing different parts of the city, just the outer ring, and of course Dragon Tower. And I do have some empty space. I didn't really bother developing it, but in the basement here I have a giant open area. I started building some rooms as well. I thought it'd be really cool to build an area for people to hang out. And of course, there's a second basement. This goes down about 19 floors, I believe, and it eventually leads out into the valley below. But it's so low that no villager have even bothered leaving that way. They barely make it 3 floors down. One of the things I wanted to showcase in the last video, I didn't quite get to it, and yes, there's a million iron golems everywhere, was the fountain I made. I went with probably a standard design, nothing too amazing. I just created 4 little holes in the bottom and placed the water block on the top so it can have an endless thing, and I just filled at the bottom. I also created this sugarcane farm as well. There's a lot of sugarcane here, and I ended up using a certain amount, meaning all of it, for different purposes. But anyway, the other thing, which you probably saw a couple of times, is this giant apartment complex. I call it Emerald City Apartments. And it's a very noisy place, a very active place, and I think I started overdoing it a little bit. So each room kind of has a job block of some sort and a bed. And I thought it was a really cool concept to have an apartment complex. The only pitfall is that I do have congestion on these stairwells. That's all. But yeah, and then I put corner suites, which have their own like balconies as well. I thought that was kind of cool. Another iron golem. So yeah, there's different job blocks. There's cartographers, there's tool makers, there's weaponsmiths, there's armorers. But on the top here, I have a giant farm as well, so I can take whatever and sell it afterwards to the different other farmers as well. You can tell it kind of only got this far, and I made sure that the farmer also has their own people or own place to live. And weirdly enough, the farmer does not live here, so I might put more composters. I don't know. I think there's enough villagers as it is. This is a very active location. And I'm kind of worried that I might overdo it and crash the game somehow. So, yeah, everyone is very happy with me. The next area I wanted to showcase is, of course, the castle that I built earlier. And I have this azalea forest here. I thought it'd be really cool. I put 2 job blocks, 2 grindstones, one on one side and one on the other side, and I thought maybe they would finally be attracted to the giant castle that I built. And this is the inside of the castle. I created a giant dance floor, well, marble floor I guess you could call it. Built these giant tables. I could have decorated, I suppose. Put a bell here so that it makes it easier, and I put a little throne here as well. I don't know if it's really necessary. Dirt block from an enderman, because endermen love to contribute. And I have some balconies out here so you can have a greater view of the outer world. Again, making sure that the villagers never leave, because you kind of have to, although otherwise they wander off, I guess. And of course the same for the other side as well. You have this as well. It's a huge view. I like it. Anyway, villagers haven't figured out how to live like royalty yet. But I also have the second floor, which That's a pretty cool view of the lower floor, and I left it open because I wanted it to be a nice open concept. And of course I made sure all the stairs are on the corners as well. Third floor, I have some rooms. Don't know really what I'm going to do with the empty rooms. I do have a few beds in these things though. Yeah, that one, sorry. So a few of them have beds. I haven't finished furnishing them yet, but that's what I ended up doing there. And fourth floor, I created larger rooms. There's really only 4 floors. Still not sure what I'm going to do with all these. Probably make a giant conference room, I suppose. Haven't really decided yet. Probably won't ever end up decorating it, but hey, I got pretty far in this. And this floor, of course, is another giant farmland. I have 6 composters, 6 beds so that people can hang out and collect food. And of course the towers keep going. There's Dragon Tower in the background. And of course this just keeps going up. Luckily these towers are a little easier to build. It just put some windows wherever there seemed to be room. And just built this giant spiral stairwell. And of course I have the upper floor here. You can't actually go over it, which is okay by me. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, it might be a little easier this side here. Yeah, so that was my massive castle design. And I did a little bit of mining back there as well. Trying to find iron ore was a bit of a pain. But luckily there's a whole bunch of mountains back there and they expose iron, so I was able to grab those. And that helped a lot with building all these lamps and iron grates for windows and that sort of thing. Now, there is one last area. There's the lava waterfall. One last area in this castle, and that is the dungeon levels. And the idea was to have it somewhat similar to the apartment complex. I have a whole bunch of doors. They have beds in them. I might have job blocks in them at some point. There's a whole second floor here, so it keeps going. There's a lot going on over here. But one of the things I wanted to point out is the fact that there is a small entrance right here, and this leads to Dragon Tower. So yeah, you can go from here to Dragon Tower and just go up from the basement levels there. This doesn't quite go all the way around, it just ends there. So yeah, it's a big area. More villagers can populate the area. Lots and lots. And one of the things I noticed, and you may have noticed too in this video and the last video, is that there is a bunch of bells everywhere. And one of the things I noticed was that the villagers congregate around the bells at certain points, but they don't really wander too far away. So I started spreading the bells around a little bit, thinking that that would help spread the village out a little bit. And I think that sort of worked. It's just I have a concentration of farmers in one area, so I started putting composters in other areas as well. Another thing I built on the side is this bathhouse. So it's a giant bathhouse with calcite ceiling, water. You can't drown on it. You're just waist high, so you have that going for you. I have an observatory area as well above here. Don't know why I built it, but it just seemed like a cool idea. And apart from the exit in Dragon Tower near the bottom, and I don't have time to go all the way down, everything is protected by iron doors. And I left these chests here because originally that's where all of my cobblestone was stored from all that digging underneath those buildings. And I also have this outdoor farm area. Because I have like 5 or 6 farmers, some buy beetroot, some buy carrots, and through that I'm able to sell a whole bunch of produce. I'm able to get it from their farmlands as well, but wherever they haven't touched essentially. But yeah, most of it comes from the tower, the apartment complex above, and basically small parts of those extra farm areas in front of the houses as well. Yeah, one of the things I didn't exactly anticipate when I built this was just how many characters this would spawn. And I thought it might be a little bit onerous on the computer because I would have a whole bunch of villagers, but not only do I have villagers, but I also have iron golems, and there are cats everywhere. And for some reason they're not shown right now, go figure. But yeah, there's a bunch of cats as well, so that kind of, I've been noticing it sort of lags a little bit. So I have a bell there. The gazebo is the first like location as well. That's that area right here. So that's what the original meeting place was. I have a few others. I have one kind of on this corner as well, because I was trying to encourage villagers to go in this corner and they're just not. So where did I put the bell? Pretty sure I put a bell somewhere. Right there. Right below the iron golem. I don't know why they put the iron golems up there, but luckily there's no dangers as well. And of course on the second floor of the apartment complex I have bells. So one last thing about villagers that I was noticing. I originally had everything covered in carpet. And I thought, hey, that looks cool. I would have white carpet with brown beds and then brown carpet with white beds, kind of add a little bit of variety. But when I brought my first villager in, which was a farmer, for some reason he decided not to go in the farmer house to sleep. He went to the guest house to sleep. And I had this square open, and he would stay in the doorway here. I originally thought this was a height issue, and as it turns out, I had to rip out a whole bunch of carpet because for some reason carpet messes with the villager's path tracing. So I had to rip up all that so that they could find the beds down here. Sometimes, and of course they were able to find the beds up here because I ripped out all the carpet here. This used to be all carpet. I don't know what's with the carpet and messing with path tracing, but I know for a fact that it's not a height issue because they couldn't find this with this carpet here, and it's clearly higher than that. The ceiling is much higher than 2, so I have it up to 4, and it still didn't work. So I had to rip up a path for all the carpets to the beds and to the job blocks afterwards. So that's why it looks kind of ugly now, which is kind of disappointing, but that's what I had to do. And once I did that, villagers found the beds, villagers found the job blocks. Everyone was happy. So I don't know what's up with the AI on that side of things, but that's what ended up happening. So one other thing I noticed was when I was trading with villagers is that while Skulk is really good at grinding up experience points, trading with villagers is way faster, especially when you have the resources. So if you trade a whole bunch of carrots to farmers, yeah, you're building up experience points. I at one point had like level 20. I was at level 28 or something like that, and I just started trading everywhere because I had a whole bunch of sources for produce and coal and stuff. So I traded off with villagers, and I bought a whole bunch of tools and maps and stuff like that. And they started, and I suddenly had like level 42. So I have a good source for experience points. I recently got myself killed on a different project. Another thing too, one last thing I noticed about villagers is that while the beds are next to the job blocks, they refuse to go next to the job blocks to sleep. They just trade beds all the time. So I thought my work from home mentality didn't really pan out as far as the logic was concerned. But anyway, that was my observations. That is my giant village, my giant city of what I call Emerald City, because I get a lot of emeralds from this. So I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, what is your era?